Praise be Jesus and Mary. From the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent are taking it by force. In today's gospel from Matthew chapter 11, after Jesus praises John the Baptist, he points out the need to imitate him, this forerunner. Imitate him in his austerity, penance, and self-denial. The kingdom of heaven will not be granted to anyone save those who are willing to engage in spiritual combat, and that to the very end. The violent are taking the kingdom of heaven by force. St. John the Baptist teaches us in particular of the need to deny ourselves, that healthy kind of violence. Deny ourselves of what? Of any and all sin and sinful inclinations. Deny any access to sin into our hearts. And should there be that great misfortune to already have granted access to sin in our hearts, we must say in so many words to that sin, sin, you must leave now. There is no room in our hearts for two masters or more. It can only be one, which must be our Lord. God alone must be the soul's delightful guest, or we could say resident, or the master of the house. Advent is a most favorable time for spiritual renewal. These spiritual renewals will help us to be really prepared for Christmas. Our Lord will be especially pleased to see that our love for him is true and effective, made evident by a sincere desire and determined effort to do all we can to cooperate with his grace in getting rid of all sin from our lives, especially our predominant fault, which is the chief obstacle to our growth in the life of Christ. So self-denial, spiritual combat. Now is the time to lay the axe to the root, as St. John uses in another context. Lay the axe to the root. Be rid of sin. Stop wasting time with so many false idols, which you know will infallibly leave you miserable and empty in the end. As the saying goes, do not put off until tomorrow what can be done today. This is especially true in the spiritual life, which is necessary in the spiritual life. We'll never make any progress unless we do what we must do, not in the future, not even tomorrow, but today, here and now. Now is the favorable time for our salvation and our sanctification. So now or never. Praise be Jesus and Mary.
Fructum ventris tuum,